Okay, ladies and gentlemen, how we all doing today? So, really what I got for you guys for today is to watch this video on Module 2, a little bit of practice with it. So I'm going to try to work through as many problems as I can in about 12 minutes. And then after that, you guys may work on some Khan Academies, so on and so forth. But you get the idea. Next Monday, we'll continue where we left off with this, and we'll be good for next Tuesday. Alright, given the expression, yes, I'm using a golf pencil, by the way. It's from Shell's Miniature Golf. Yeah, I love shells. Alright, given the expression 5n plus 4, identify the first 6 terms of the sequence. So what they're saying here is n equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, and you're plugging this in. Okay. I mean, really all there is to it is you take your calculator and say 5 times 1 plus 4, 9. Now, if you do notice, like if I change this to a 2, I get 14. But guys, what's the pattern here? Okay, well, take a look. It's 5n. That means every time you increase n, you're increasing by 5. I don't even need my calculator. So I know I got 19, 24, 29, 34. Alright, and we're all set. But you get the idea. It's pretty simple, but the important thing is to realize that this is saying the nth term right here represents like the number in the sequence. 1, 2, all the way up, whatever. Draw a graph of a relation that is a function. Draw one that's not. Explain 2 ways that determines whether or not our function is a relation to the function. Alright, so here's one, say function, not function. Okay, a function is something like this. Okay, the whole point is something called the VLT, your vertical line test. If I could draw a line straight up and down, can you see how here they only ever hit one time on your graph? Okay, but in contradiction to that, if I do something like this, if I draw a line straight up and down, it hits here and it hits here. I know that's not a straight line, I'm sorry. But it hits more than once. That's why it's not. It's that simple. You can't have x values repeat. That's the reason behind it. Okay. Explain the difference between domain and range. Identify the domain and range for the function you drew in problem 2. Just to make it a little bit easier on you, let me do this. Okay, here are 4 points. Alright. Domain is called all your input or your x values. Range is all your output or all your y values. Here are 4 points, each of these being x, y. Okay, so tell me what the domain is. Well, the domain is all my x's. 1, 5, -2, 10. Typically you write it in ascending order. -2, 1, 5, 10. Okay, now your range, it's just all your y values. So, did I just do that? No, no, we're sorry. -2, 6, 4, 11. So -2, 4, 6, 11. If you don't put it in ascending order, you wouldn't be wrong. It's just what I'm used to doing. I was trained by my math teachers to do that. Now, that's all there is to it. It's just domains all your x, range all your y. Alright? That's simple. Number 4. What does it mean to be linear? The right equation below represents a linear function, another equation represents a nonlinear function. Alright. Now, when you see the word linear, hopefully this stands out to you. Line. Okay? Linear is basically a straight line. I know, mind blown, right? So, an equation that mimics this is something in the form of mx plus b. So something like y equals 4x minus 2. I mean, there's an infinite amount of these. But you have something times x plus something. Alright, I mean, like, there's nothing else. The important thing is this. As long as you have an x or just a number, you have a straight line. Alright? nonlinear is anything that's curved. Right? Now here's another cool thing. If on this test that you're going to take eventually, they ask you this question. And let's say, you have A, B, C, D. There's a y equals button right here. You can type this in, 4x minus 2, and hit graph. Oops. Does this form a straight line? You bet it does. Okay, it's linear. You get the idea. Non-linear, though, is something like this. Alright. The big difference here is that you have an x squared. Now check this out. If I go back to my y equals and I type this in. Oops. I hit graph. We notice that I have a curved line. This is called a parabola. Alright. And basically anything that's not, anything that doesn't look simple is basically nonlinear. I mean, that could work. You could have something like 3x cubed. You can have something like 3 over x. This is a weird graph. You get the chance, go ahead and graph that one. Square root of x. All of these are curved. Pardon me, sorry. Write the equation of a line that goes to the points below. Okay. This one's huge. I really can't, I know I'm really emphasizing it, aren't I? I'm such enthusiastic today. But this one is going to be one that you're going to see time and time again. You need slope, and you need your y-intercept in order to figure out your equation of a line. These are points. I'll call this x1, y1, x2, y2. Granted, there's 3 points here. I just stayed away from this one because, quite frankly, 27 is huge, and then -3 is negative, and I'd rather just stick with 2 positive numbers. So let's find our slope first. We got 3 minus 5 over 9 minus 3. -2 6, -1/3. Alright. Now that I have my slope, I'm going to plug it over here. Okay, for m. But I need an x and a y. Well, luckily I have 3 points. And again, I'm always going to try to pick the smallest and most easiest to work with numbers. So 3 and 5 I'll plug in. Plug a 5 in for y. -1/3 in for m. 3 in for x. Plus b. -1/3 times 3. Guys, if you freak out about this stuff, which if you do, it's okay. You're doing parentheses -1 divided by 3 times 3. Boom. That's it. Okay? Just use the calculator if you need to. I don't. It's fine. Add the 1 over. B equals 6. Once you have both things, I now put them in the mx plus b form. I'm done. I got it. Okay. We're all good. Cool. So, number 6. If the value of a stock is doubling every 7 years, explain why it does not represent a linear relationship. Alright, think of it this way. Let's say your stock is worth $1,000. Okay. So in year 1 it's worth $1,000. In year 2 it's worth $2,000. Doubles, right? In year 3 it's worth, what's doubling 2,000? 4,000. This would be a sweet stock to own, by the way. Year 4 would be 8,000. Can you see that if you graph this, it goes something like this? It's a gradual incline, then all of a sudden it just shoots up. Because, look at this jump. Plus 1,000. Plus 2,000. Plus 4,000. The next one will be plus 8,000. And, that'd be all, so on, so on. Okay? A linear relationship has to change by the same constant every time. See if anybody can actually read that. This is actually every time, if you can believe it. So it's kind of like working an hourly wage. If you make $10 an hour and you work 5 hours, you make $50. 10 times 5, done. Okay, it's the same wage every time. Okay, pardon me. This is an interesting question, and I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this one, but it's good that you really see it. The table below shows the typing speed x and number of errors y on a 1-minute typing test for 6 kids. So here's all your points. The points in the table are plotted below. Draw a line of best fit and use the space above to find the equation for the line you drew to show all your work. Alright. Line of best fit means you are taking this and you are taking a ruler, and to the best of your ability, you are drawing a line through as many points as you possibly can. Are you going to get all of them? Probably not. But here's my line of best fit. Okay. That might not be the best one ever. Should probably be up a little bit more. But I would try to go through as many points here as I could. I should have taken this one into consideration more, so I should have raised it up a little bit. But again, this is open to interpretation. Now, if you guys have the opportunity, what you could do is, for line of best fit, you can use said calculator. Okay. If you hit this stat button and go to edit, I'm going to type all these points in. Okay, go over to the right, type in the corresponding y's. Okay, I'm going to get back to my home screen, hit second quit. Alright, then I'm going to hit second stat. Hang on one second. Alright, so you're back on your home screen. Sorry, I had to just quickly refresh my memory. Hit this stat button. You go to the right one time, and you see down here it says line reg. You hit this twice. This gives you the equation of the line. Guys, this is beautiful. Okay, what this does is it gives you exactly what you need for your equation for your line. Negative 0.146x plus 13.47. I would love for you to get good at this. It's real simple. It's like 3 buttons in the calculator. Now, there's my equation of a line. Okay, using the equation you found, predict the number of errors of a student who types 62 words per minute. Well, x represents the number of words per minute. So down here, I'm going to do negative 0.146 times 62 plus 13.47. All I'm doing is using that formula I did and putting it in. If I hit enter, I get 4.418. And that number represents the number of errors. There's only 2 R's in errors, not 3. Alright. Interpret the slope of your equation using the context of the problem. What this is saying is the faster you type, the less errors you make. Which, think about it, makes sense. If you're typing more words per minute, that means you're making less errors. Okay. Interpret the y-intercept using the context of the problem. This one's kind of silly, if you will. It's saying that if you type, it makes no sense in this problem, I'm not going to lie. If you type 0 words per minute, that means you make 13.47 errors. Does that make any sense? Hopefully not. In this context, this problem is just kind of slightly off. Let's do one last one. You and your sister made $3,500 designing bracelets this past year. Since she was the lead designer, she took 60% of the earnings. How much money did you earn? Well, guys, think about it. You have 100%. She took 60. That means you get 40. Now, 40% in terms of mathematics is represented by a decimal, which is 0.4. Okay, 0.40. So if we take 3,500 and we multiply it by 0.40, we're going to get our answer. 3,500 times 0.4. Oop, we don't need the decimal. We end up with $1,400, which is a pretty nice profit. Alrighty. Okay, there is one more page to go through. I'm going to save that for Monday, but I got through everything here. Hopefully this video helped a little bit. When you are finished, watch some Khan Academies, okay? Or do some Khan Academies. Alright, keep it a good work. Good luck. As always, we're all counting on you.